Support this podcast via our Patreon and get more writerly goodness. Visit patreon.com/nanocast to join up.
Welcome to NaNoWriMo Every Month. My name is J. Daniel Sawyer. I'm the author of some 20 books, 34 short stories, and numerous articles and other things, and I am your guide on this journey to use NaNoWriMo to level up to professional output levels. Welcome to The Questions, Episode 68. Today Ben asks, why does my brain seem to go into lockdown every time I learn a new bit of writing craft? Sometimes I can't write for several days after learning a new concept. What's happening, and how do I deal with this? Ben, what you're describing is called the centipede's problem. It comes from a parable that goes like this. A ladybug and a centipede meet on a leaf one day, and the ladybug says to the centipede as they're mutually chewing on the leaf, "You know, I can't help but admire people like you." And the centipede says, "Why? Why's that? I mean, you can fly." And the ladybug says, "Yeah, I can fly, but you've got hundreds of legs, and yet you move them all the time like it's no effort at all. How do you do it? Do you, lift all of the odd-numbered legs up and move them, and then all the even-numbered legs, or do you do one side and then the other? How exactly does that work?" And the centipede starts thinking about it, and then tries to walk, and he falls over, because his conscious brain can't handle thinking about what he does unconsciously. When you're learning new things that force you to crack open things like your writing process, you're going to run into centipede problems. They'll bind you up for a while, and that's one of the reasons practicing them as you learn them is so important. Doing exercises that cement them in your toolbox, because otherwise you can lose them as your brain tries to reject new information and preserve the status quo. Your brain has an entire subsystem for doing that. It's basically a form of identity protection as far as it's concerned. So when you're learning something new and you're cracking open that black box of your creativity to do it, you're gonna get creatively bound up from time to time, and that's perfectly normal. The trick is not to let that stop you. Keep writing every day, even if you can only squeeze out a couple of hundred words, or even if the only thing you can write is an exercise that practices the technique you just learned. Doing that will help those periods of shutdown pass more quickly, and they'll also help the learning stick better. And also, don't beat up on yourself, and don't get nervous about whether or not you're using the tool correctly. You'll discover how best to use it through practice and incorporating it into the rest of your toolkit. I hope that helps, and I'll see you tomorrow. NaNoWriMo Every Month is written and presented by J. Daniel Sawyer and produced by Artistic Whispers Productions. Visit our website at nanowrimoeverymonth.com and leave a tip in the tip jar or join the Patreon to support this podcast. NaNoWriMo Every Month is copyright 2016 by J. Daniel Sawyer and Artistic Whispers Productions and is released under a Creative Commons Non-Commercial Attribution No Derivatives license.